Hello, doctors. If you're frustrated because companies like Care Credit are only financing about 15 to 20% of your patients, and you're watching the other 80 to 85% of your patients walk out the door without care, then this webinar is for you. If you give us just 15 minutes, we'll reveal a brand new option in patient financing that can get up to 100% of your patients approved. Real quick, take a look back at the last 30 days at your office. How many dollars walked out the door because the patient couldn't get financed? It's a big number, isn't it? And the patient's all ready to go, and you have to tell them that they got denied because of their credit. Sorry, you can't get the treatment you want. You probably see it more than once every single day. They miss out on the treatment they need, and you miss out on the collections in your bank account. Now, that's a sad situation, but we have the solution for you. If you give us just 15 minutes, we'll give you the easiest way to get 100% of your patients financed. They get their treatment, and you get a bigger bank account, so it's a win-win, and the video will even show you how to have someone else do all of the work for you. So don't worry, there's nothing for sale in the video, so keep your money in your pocket. We've got it set up where you can get signed up for free. Now, this video is about the one simple trick to increase your conversions and collections without doing anything different in your practice. It's all about getting new patients, increasing conversions, and increasing collections. This is something that every doctor can do right now as well. So after we finish this video, every doctor on here can start doing this tomorrow. One more thing, as we said, just to repeat, keep your money in your pocket. There is nothing that's going to be sold in this webinar. First of all, why would you want to increase your conversions? Well, if you increase your conversions, you increase your collections. If you increase your collections, you're bringing more money into the practice. You decrease your debt. You can update your practice with new equipment. You can remodel your home or maybe buy a new home, get a new car. You can take more time off to spend with your spouse and your kids. And ultimately, if you're increasing the number of conversions, you're increasing the number of people you can help. And deep down, that's what we all want, and that's to help more people. So you really should be doing everything you can, as long as it's honest and ethical, of course, to increase your conversions. So let's walk through this process real briefly to see what it looks like to increase your conversions. You do your marketing, which a prospective patient sees or hears. The patient calls your office to make an appointment. Your staff gets them scheduled. The person then shows up at your office. You do the paperwork, you do your exam, and then you have to tell the patient what they need. You have to tell them they need to spend money with you, and that's the so-called close. And many doctors want to know how they can close more patients. They want to know how they can get patients to convert better. Well, the 50 things you do before you get to the close, those are the things that will cause the patient to say yes. But we're not going to get into all those 50 things right now. We're going to skip ahead a little bit and just ask you this important question. What's the number one thing that patients tell you why they're not going to take your treatment recommendations, or they tell you that they're going to go home and think about it? It all comes down to the money excuse. So what if you could get to the point where you're going to try to close the patient and you can make your treatment affordable for every patient? What if you can make it affordable without cutting your fees? What if you could get to the whole money part and make it affordable to 100% of your patients? Do you think more of those patients would say yes? And what would that do for your bottom line and your collections? You'd probably take that all day long. And that's exactly what we have for you right here in this webinar. So what are we talking about? We're talking about financing for your patients. Now, you may be thinking, hey, I already have Care Credit, but you're probably a little disappointed with Care Credit because a lot of your patients get denied. And that's the problem with top-tier financing. They only approve 15 to 20% of your patients. They only handle your prime lending patients. We're talking about an option for not only your top 15 to 20% of your patients, but also the other 80% of your patients that get denied. Compass Payment Solutions was put together by a wish list that was created by doctors about patient financing. It's something that the doctors really wanted, what was best for them and what was best for the patients, not just what was best or most convenient for the bank or what was best and most convenient for the finance company or what they were willing to offer, because that's what we're normally stuck with, what the bank and the finance company are willing to offer. Compass Payment Solutions should really be your first choice when it comes to patient financing. Compass was developed by doctors and bankers. They're a finance management company. They're not a lender, so they can submit applications with several different lenders, including subprime lenders. These are the lenders that you normally don't have access to. Now, CareCredit is a prime lender. They will normally only finance patients with a 700 credit score or higher up. On the other hand, Compass will get your patients prime rates with credit scores of 660 or better. Subprime is everything below that. And Compass works with lenders who, of course, can finance patients with prime credit scores, but they can get you better rates than CareCredit and other prime lenders. Compass also works with lenders who actually want to work with doctors who have patients with subprime and lower subprime credit scores. This is why Compass Payment Solutions should be your first choice for patient financing, because if you're only using prime lenders, you're shortchanging your practice and you're losing money every day. So start with Compass Payment Solutions when you want to finance more of your patients. This is really critical to increasing your conversions. If you can offer your service and make it affordable to every patient with a payment plan, even if they have poor credit, you're going to instantly convert more patients, you're going to instantly increase your paycheck, and you're going to help many more people. So let's quickly talk about how Compass works, because as you know, financing is not as easy as it used to be. There was a time when you can have someone sitting in your office and you take an application to different lenders, and there would be hungry lenders and someone would buy it or one of the banks would buy it, but that's not the case anymore. With Compass Payment Solutions, they want to be the personal finance manager at your medical practice. So when you enroll with Compass, they're going to assign a finance manager specifically to work with your office. And so when a patient comes in and applies for financing, you're going to pick up the phone, you're going to call that same finance manager. That finance manager is going to take an application over the phone, or you can do it online. And then that finance manager is going to do a pre-qualification based on some really slick proprietary software that Compass has developed with Experian. Everyone's heard of Experian, right? Well, this is phenomenal software, and they're going to be able to tell you within minutes what plan that patient is getting. And then they'll enter the deal with the appropriate lender, and then they're going to close that transaction. Now, no one likes to talk finances in the office, so think about, what if you had someone who was experienced do all the talking about the financing for you? Bottom line is that Compass has 3 goals that they're looking for. The first goal is to get as many patients approved as possible. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's their number 1 goal, get as many patients approved as possible. Their second goal is to get the doctor, that's you, the highest payout possible. So listen, Compass is working for you. They don't get paid any back-end fees from the lenders based on where that loan goes. So the second goal for Compass is for you to get the highest possible payout. It doesn't matter to Compass which lender gets it. And the third goal is to take good care of your patient and put them into a program that offers them the best interest rate and the best terms. And because Compass isn't a finance company, they're not allowed to get any back-end fees for charging a patient a higher interest rate. So they want the best possible deal for the patient, because they want to know your patient is treated right and that the patient is going to come back to you again. So it's important to nurture that relationship with your patient. So Compass is essentially a finance manager who's hired by your office to help find your patients a payment plan. Sound good? Now, you're probably asking about Compass's fees. Well, they obviously have to get paid. That's fair. Well, there's normally a $495 setup fee for you to get enrolled with Compass. However, for the doctors on this webinar, the setup fee is going to be waived. That's right, no setup fee for the doctors on this webinar. Even better, Compass only gets paid when they get your patient a financing option. And not only that, but you have to agree to it and the patient has to accept it. So Compass is pay only for performance. They don't take a dime. if they don't get results for you based on your criteria. That's why it would be crazy for you not to do this. There is absolutely no risk for you to try out Compass. So if you're ready to get the financing hassle out of your hands and into the hands of professionals, you really need to give Compass a try, and simply click on the button below, and that'll take you to a form. Fill out that simple little form. Compass will get a hold of you. It's real simple. So let's get back to the fees here. Real straightforward fees. You can even build these fees into the financing. We recommend it, and Compass is going to recommend it as well, that you build it into the patient's fees. So if Compass closes a loan in the amount of $500 up to $1,499.99, you pay $195. And if you close a loan of $1,500 all the way up to $50,000, you pay a $350 flat fee to Compass. And again, you can build the fees into the patient's loan, and Compass will help you do that. So don't think you have to handle this on your own. This is what Compass does. One more thing about the fees you see here. You don't have to pay it for 3 days after the close of the loan, so you should get paid before you ever have to pay a fee. So to recap, Compass gives you a sliding fee scale on the loans, as you can see here. They're going to work hard as your personal finance manager. You only pay for performance when Compass performs for you, and you pay 3 days after they close the loan. This is a real no-brainer, folks. We invite you to put Compass to the test. Go ahead and throw every case at Compass and let them prove that they really can get more patients approved and make more of your patients happy because they did get approved. There is absolutely no risk on your part. Let Compass show you how to convert more of your patients that are coming to you and put more money in your pocket every day. So if you're ready to put Compass to the test and get a personal patient finance manager for your practice without having to hire anyone, simply click on the button below, fill out the short form. Compass is going to get in touch with you to get started. Even if you have additional questions beyond this, fill out the form. Compass will give you a call, and then you can grill them with any questions you want. You won't be disappointed. Compass is really great at what they do. One more thing, you're probably wondering what are the lowest and highest amount of dollars Compass will finance. $500 is a minimum, and that's pretty low, and you've got a maximum of $50,000. Another question, what kind of payment plans can your patients expect? You're probably asking about the interest rates. That really depends on each individual case, but you can expect something in the vicinity of 3.9% and up, because some of the subprime lenders, but again, your patient will be told everything up front, and they have to accept it before it ever gets done. Payment periods are usually in the 12-month to 48-month range, again, depending on the amount financed. One more question. When you're working with multiple lenders, what about multiple hits on a patient's credit score? Let's say you do Care Credit and then you do Capital One and you do multiple hits on a patient's credit report. Well, we told you that Compass has some really great software with Experian, and they've actually contracted with one of their credit providers to do something called a soft pull. It's not a credit score, it's a credit profile, and so Compass can enter the information and get a credit profile, which basically tells Compass where to submit that loan, and that soft pull doesn't show up on your patient's credit report. So the patient gets a plan. Even though Compass has access to multiple lenders, they're never going to get more than 2 inquiries to show up. So Compass has it covered, and they are on top of it. So click on the button below, fill out the short form, get signed up, and get that personal finance manager for your practice. We highly recommend you get on board with Compass. It is a no-brainer, so give Compass a chance. Thank you for watching. Please click on the button below, fill out the short form, and get signed up.